Alright, so I think this might be the shortest intro for this review, but we're going to be reviewing What If Season 3. So, What If Season 3, despite what I've heard about it, which was even less than Season 2, all I know is that we're getting a mech Avengers style series, a Western setting. We're going to see Howard and Darcy get a child, and we're going to see the Winter Soldier and the Red Guardian team up. Yeah, when I heard about all of this, these were weird what if episodes, but I was still curious as to what season 3 was really going to look like. Then I realized that every episode was going to air the same way season 2 did, but we were going to have one less episode. So we were basically going to have 8 episodes this season. So I was kind of curious as to what season 3 was going to give us. So just like season 2, no, just like season 1, I waited until every episode aired and then I binged every episode back to back to back. Instead of just doing what I did with season 2, where I watched the episodes as they came out each day. As I felt like it made more sense to just wait until the episodes came out. Something in that nature. So it's time to finally review the final season of What If Season 3. So the first episode is basically Pacific Rim, but in the Marvel Universe. It's weird how they take these movies and make them what if episodes, or make their own version of it. So in this movie, well, Captain America in this universe is Sam Wilson. Don't know how that works in the universe, but his best friend is actually Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk. And after the Hulk hates how hulky he becomes, he makes technology that splits himself from the monster, which results in the monster making him even more of a monster and making duplicates of himself. As a result, the Avengers make mecha robots to kill the Hulks, and that's the whole episode. So the episode in general, to me, feels like some type of thing to show the characters that we were introduced to over the course of the multiverse saga, because over the course of season 3 we were introduced to Shang-Chi, Moon Knight, Monica Rambeau, Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, and we see these what if episodes that just doesn't make sense anymore. Like, I'm not really sure which movie this is. I'm pretty sure it's a mix between Incredible Hulk and Captain America: The Winter Soldier without the Winter Soldier, and this what if episode just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I did like the giant robot versus monster fights, but that's just about it. There's nothing really interesting or intriguing or twisty about this episode. It just feels like this whole season is about introducing characters we've already met or haven't gotten to see in the series that were introduced over the course of phase 4 to 5 as we are entering into phase 6. And yeah, you basically understand my conflict here. Good episode, just not the best of them all. The next episode is What If Agatha Goes to Hollywood. So this one is, I guess, WandaVision, Agatha All Along, and Eternals, where Kingo teams up with Agatha to take on an Eternal, as she takes on all the powers of the Eternals and tries to fight a Celestial. And that's basically the whole episode. She's basically doing this as a movie star, and the two of the celebrities are trying to save the universe while also making a really good movie. Now, in my opinion, this was another funny episode that got me hooked back into the series, because it was like a pull in and pull out. No, it was like an in and out type of season, where episode 1 kind of got me out of it, but episode 2 got me back in, and I was curious as to what this episode was going for. And I gotta admit, the opening dancing number was actually really great, and I did like the team up between them. I just felt like Agatha was the villain, but then they were like, no, let's make her the hero, because she kind of was kind of the main character and the hero, but it's just weird that they went in this direction. But as far as things go, I can't really say any more other than I liked it. It wasn't what I asked for, but I still liked it. So the next episode is what if the Red Guardian stopped the Winter Soldier? So the Red Guardian mission clashes with Winter Soldier's mission as he stops him from killing the Starks, and as a result, Hydra considers his mission a failure, and everyone is basically after the Winter Soldier and the Red Guardian. And by how the episode goes, I think they're basing this off of Rush Hour, in my opinion, because they do jump out of the window, just like they did in Rush Hour 2. Take what you will of what movie they're basically referencing or what they're basing this off of, because that's just all I can really do here. I do love their first interaction, like the Red Guardian and the Winter Soldier fighting each other. It was weird, but it was still funny. I did actually like their buddy cop dynamic, and I did actually like the restaurant scene where he's just mad at the employee just because she's asking them about their order, and then Winter Soldier, I never thought I'd say this, straight up rizzes her. And then there's a car chase scene that I actually really liked. And as far as things go, that was it from there. Then we go to the final episode, the final scene, where in this episode, the Red Guardian tries to help Winter Soldier fight back against his control over Hydra, and we do get a freeze frame where they fight them, and well, that's about it. The episode ends with them going their separate ways after the fight, where the Winter Soldier is still under the Hydra's grasp, and the Red Guardian does in fact join the Avengers, which I feel like is the Red Guardian's best ending ever after he basically becomes out of a job with his one last mission with Russia, or Sokovia. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. You guys know what I mean. But like I said, it was actually a really funny episode, and it's actually weird how this episode didn't get me out of the series. So now let's go to the next one. So in this episode, it's basically a sequel to Party Thor. They really gotta stop making. They really gotta stop making sequels. This is supposed to be an anthology series, for goodness sake. Season 1 is the only one that feels like an anthology season all on its own. But anyway, in this one, they actually did get married. They actually did have a kid. And apparently the whole universe wants their kid. And she hasn't even hatched yet. So I can't really say much about this episode because it's just a cross-universe chase, on-the-run type of episode. Like the Shield wants them, Thanos wants the egg. Let's see. Jotunheim wants the egg. I believe the Asgardians want the egg. Everyone in the universe wants the egg, including even the Grandmaster from Sakaar wants the egg. And I kind of understand why. They make it abundantly clear that the egg holds power, but after it hatches, they basically don't want the egg anymore, and everything goes back to normal. So as far as things go, I can't say much about this episode other than it didn't really need to happen. So the next episode is what if the Emergents took over Earth. That's not the episode, but that's what I'm going to say. So yes, this episode is actually a Spider-Man Far From Home what if episode, but with no Spider-Man for some reason, okay? And in this universe, Mysterio successfully kills Spider-Man and takes over the world, and as a result, androids take over the world, and the only one that can stop it is Riri Williams, Ironheart. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say I was not interested in Riri as a character, even after she was introduced in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. It's not that I didn't hate the character, I just feel like we weren't ready for her to be in the MCU. It just happened too quick for me. And then she's like in What If, and now she's in Marvel Zombies, and I just don't know what's going on here. The episode was fine. I just didn't like what the direction they were going to. And in the end, it just didn't feel like a what if episode. It just felt like a we need to save the world episode. So I can't really say much about that one. So the next episode is What If 1872, and it's set in the West. And our main characters, or the movie that is, and TV show that's restructuring it, is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings and Hawkeye's TV series. And in this one, they are looking for someone who, newsflash, is Shang-Chi's sister. There's not much I can say about this episode either. Shang-Chi is my favorite character after the Guardians of the Galaxy ended. I mean, Star-Lord is my favorite too, but he's not around in the MCU, so Shang-Chi is my favorite now, and so far he's only gotten a movie and one episode to himself in What If. He's in 2 episodes of this season, but that's about it from there. And he's going to play a pivotal role in Marvel Zombies. Can't wait to see that. But it's hard to really say much about this episode other than it didn't need to happen. There's no real what if to this episode. It's just Shang-Chi and Hawkeye in the West, and that's really all you know about it. So, now let's move on to the two-part finale for this season, and it is what if the Watcher disappears. So, for some reason, Captain Carter, Birdie, and Kaori and Storm with Mjolnir is traveling the multiverse and saving all their universes from a calamity that is happening around. And for some reason, the Watcher is missing. And I can't really say much about this. They're trying to save the multiverse. They're contacting their families as they go to other universes, saving them from the very same calamity. And as a result, Captain Carter is missing as she goes to visit Infinity Ultron, and now Infinity Ultron is somehow the hero, or at least one of the good guys, and that's about it. It's weird, but that's about it. I can say that it was cool to see Storm, the first official X-Men in the MCU, but no, no. Alright, so the final episode is titled What If? What If? That is like the most boring title I've ever heard. So in this one, it's a continuation of the previous episode as the remaining team of Captain Carter's team is looking for her. They're trying to save the Watcher after he intervenes in season 1. And the whole season is just a final battle between the characters that Captain Carter is teaming up with alongside Infinity Ultron and the Watcher. And that's about it. I can't say nothing more than that's about it. So season 3, in general, is just the only redeeming quality that I can say about the whole season is that there's only one episode that I've ever really, really, really liked and enjoyed and rewatched more than ever, and it was episode 3. And I feel like they just forgot what if is supposed to be. Now there is a reason why this happened. One, they wanted to tell a linear story and not an anthology story. Two, people didn't watch season 2 a lot, so Marvel believed there wasn't an audience for the What If series anymore, so they canceled it and ended the series with a third season, which is evident by the epilogue of season 3, where we saw other what could have been What If season 4, with a bunch of characters having their own power switch and stuff like that. So we were going to see a Moon Knight as Blade, which is what we saw in Marvel Zombies. We were going to see Spider-Man with multiple arms. We were going to see a samurai Ghost Rider. A lot of these scenarios that we could have gotten, and we didn't. And in the end, it's evident that the only reason why What If failed as a concept after season 1 was because they didn't want to follow the blueprints that season 1 played out. Season 1 was the only one that had these movies and made what if scenarios out of them, whereas others were just crazy out of nowhere what ifs that we didn't want. Season 1 was the best one, season 2 was the mid one, and season 3 was the worst of the 3. And it's just weird how you love a show and it falls off. To me, this is the show that I liked but then felt out, but didn't like at all afterwards. Like, season 1 will still always have a place in my heart, but it's hard to say that I enjoyed the whole series as a whole, as there are more bad episodes than good ones. But all in all, it's time for my score. I'm going to give the stories a 5 out of 10. All in all, it was hard to really love season 3 as a whole, as there was only one episode that I liked the most, and the rest of them were just ones I just didn't really care about. And I'm going to give season 3 in general a hard 6 out of 10. So there's my rating.